welcome back to this week's edition of Sun News Blazer Beat. I'm Zoe Hansen.
And I'm Troy Grimmin. Thanks for tuning in. Blazers volleyball was firing on all cylinders as they curb-stomped Southern Utah University 3-0. After being swept 3 times prior, the Blazers took what comes around goes around to a whole different meaning. Kennedy Knutson absolutely snapped during the matchup, breaking her season-high kill record with 19 and earned the title of SUU's worst nightmare. The Blazers are currently ranked 10th in the WAC, but that's not discouraging the players or the coaches. When asked about the Blazers' current situation, Coach Camilla Hafoka says, "We'll have a lot of young girls on the team, so I'm not worried about ranking and more about the process." And today was part of that process. You know, we've gone through some really hard things as a team collectively, and we fought through them, and this is the first time we've really all come together. I'm excited for the rest of the WAC season. It's still pretty early in the WAC. I'm excited to see what the girls can do. This was also the Blazers' first win in WAC play. Kennedy Knutson was fired up after the game, and when I asked her how it felt to win their first WAC championship game against the rival SUU, she says, "It feels amazing. It doesn't even feel real. We all played so together, and it was awesome." The Blazers hit the road and anticipate to stay hot against Tarleton today at 5 p.m. The Blazers football team put up a good fight until the last quarter against Colorado State. The team went from being down 1 touchdown to being down 3 touchdowns, ending in a loss of 41-20. For all those still doubting the Blazers' performance, this game is a good sign. The Colorado State team that squeaked out this win took the University of Colorado Boulder to overtime, showing that our Blazers are heating up. The Blazers had 2 less turnovers, 52 more rushing yards, and 12 more minutes of offensive possession than the Rams. The Blazers look to put it all together in a homestand versus Stephen F. Austin University this Saturday at the Greater Zion Stadium. So Zoe, I want to hear your thoughts about this game because it was quite close up till the fourth quarter. Obviously, this Colorado State team took Coach Deion Sanders, Coach Prime's Colorado Boulder team, which has 2 Heisman candidates in Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter, and they took them to overtime and lost by 1. So what do you think your thoughts are, and where do you think the Blazers stand in this?
Yeah, so the team actually did really good keeping up with their offense. They have a really strong offense, and I think they did really well at combating that. Like you said, they stayed close in the first 3 quarters, but once that fourth quarter hit, I don't know what happened, but they went from being down 1 touchdown to 3, and at that point, you can't really come back from that.
And we talked to Paul Peterson about this. The spread and shred offense, they love passing the ball. We saw more rushing yards than passing yards this game. I mean, do you think that's the answer?
I think they need to have a good amount of both rushing yards and passing yards once they put that together like they did in their win against NAU. I feel like when they do that, it works really well. On a different note, the Utah Tech tennis team recorded a smashing success in the first invitation of the year. The team traveled to compete against athletes from 4 different universities in the 3-day Idaho State Invitational. Every Trailblazer competing recorded victories in each of their brackets.
The Utah Tech baseball team is ready to play ball. The team finished last year with 8 wins and 22 losses in the conference. This year, the team will have a chance to work out any challenges in 2 scrimmages before this next season starts. The Trailblazers will compete against the College of Southern Nevada tomorrow at 4 p.m. at the Bruce Hurst Field, and will take on Salt Lake Community College October 27th.
The Utah Tech wrestling team went from 5 members last semester to a full team this semester. Blazer Beat producer Madison Dwiggins had some of the members throw their teammates around while they show her their favorite wrestling moves.
This year we've got some really, really good recruits. We've got a full team. We've got at least two people per weight class, plus we've got nearly a full women's team this year.
So what goals do you have with the year?
I think just to really unify the team, especially where there's like a lot of new girls this year.
And what does it mean for you to be a captain?
I think the biggest thing is just leading by example. There's a lot of like girls looking up to me, so just kind of setting a good example for everyone.
What is your favorite move? We're gonna have you demonstrate. If you just want to tell us first.
My favorite move, it's called a lat drop. It's just like a little throw.
And Nick, what goals do you have for this year?
Our goal this year is actually to win the West Coast Conference Championships as a team. My personal goal is to All-American at Nationals.
And what does it mean for you to be a captain?
Honestly, it's a great honor because last year we had a very small group of wrestlers that were super dedicated, and so this year with our team more than tripling, I'm really happy that I was chosen to lead this group.
Awesome. And what is your favorite move?
the safe moves that I'm allowed to do is probably just a sweep single.
Two questions for you. So, what goals do you have this year?
Being an All-American is the first, and then after completing that, moving on to a national championship.
And then, what is your favorite move?
Probably a single leg, sweep single.
Personally, I want to go, I want to hit All-American, then see where I can go after that.
And what's your favorite move?
Far side fireman carry.
I mean, right now we're building a base right now, a lot of technique, a lot of basic conditioning right now. Just trying to get everybody conditioned and ready. It's a long season. You know, it's 6 months till nationals, so we've got a long way to get there. I would love it if we had every one of our people in the finals at conference, so first and second place at every weight class. It's kind of a tall order, but you know, we had you know, a full load last year in the finals at conference. I think we can do it again.
So the team has a lot of potential this year, and when me and Madison went to go interview them, it was so fun. They were all really close. They were all joking around with each other, and probably my favorite part about this whole experience was Taylor totally slamming her other captain.
Well, the whole thing that
It
I
was
kind of took away
crazy.
from it, I mean, they're doing so much cardio up there. You hear him, he's putting through like conditioning. I can't do that. I'm an avid cardio hater. I despise that stuff. Like I'm a healthy dude. Like I go to the gym, I lift my weights, but when it comes to cardio, I'm like, I'll do it tomorrow. Go back, I'll do it tomorrow. So when they have the stamina and stuff where they could just judo slam you across your back, that's not for me. No, thank you.
You know, and I'm excited to see what the girls can do this year. As they mentioned, they have a full girls team this year, and they have 6 months to prepare, and they're going to go to nationals. I think it's going to be really cool to have not only the men's team, but also the women's team go and compete at the national level.
It's going to bring a different element to the game of wrestling for sure.
I agree.
We'll be back after the break with spotlights on some of the Utah Tech soccer players that dominated during their games over the weekend.
Readiness in all of our 250 programs. As one of the fastest growing, most affordable, and safest universities in the country, Utah Tech was recently ranked as a top 10 arts and science college. So, join us and experience the difference at Utah Tech University.
The Utah Tech men's soccer team proved that every shot counts. The score remained blank in the first half against the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. Although 2 minutes into the second half, Sammy Cuevas took a shot at the goal to force a save. That's not the last of Cuevas. Bryce Backlund lofted the ball, finding Cuevas on the other side of the goal, where he powered a shot to the corner and won the conference opener. Up next, the team will compete at home tonight against Utah Valley University at 7 p.m.
Do what you love what you do. It's a lifestyle. Trayton Chamberlain, a senior on the men's soccer team, shares more about how this quote has impacted him throughout his career.
So it actually started as a joke. My junior year of high school, my family was asked to be on a KSL special about how families balance family life and a high-performance athlete. And in the promo of the commercial, it had me saying, "It's a lifestyle every day." And so when that aired on TV, all my friends thought it was hilarious. My family thought it was funny. And so it kind of just became this mantra for the next couple years. It ended up being my senior quote, and it was just something we laughed about. But then I graduated, and it just kind of went away. But I think it was me. I said, think of how cool it would be if you put that on a T-shirt. You made like a company from it, and you would portray what your lifestyle was, whether it's soccer or boating or pickleball or whatever it was. And my sister was like, "Oh my gosh, that could actually work." And I think that's been the best thing, is our relationship has only grown because of it. And it gives us more excuses to hang out and talk about things. But I also think the nice thing about it is there was no expectation to it. Like, it was just a funny joke that we decided to make a reality. So if it stays at where it's at, I'm totally fine with it, because at least we did it. We had fun with it, and we created memories in it. I mean, it thickened the plot of things. Exactly. But then if it blows up and we start making a lot of money with it, I mean, more power to us, and it's just going to add to the joke even more. So every Monday night, her and I sit down and we talk about what we want to accomplish that week or things that we're going to do. So actually a few weeks ago, we sat down and we're like, okay, let's plan out the remainder of the year.
Yeah, so for the design, something that we've just aimed to do is just kind of stay true to who we are. I mean, our brand is obviously about like the things that other people love to do, but also what we love to do. So we just kind of take creativity from things that we do every day and what's around us, family, things like that. It's just been fun to run a business with my brother, in all honesty. I think we kind of have a riot, and it's just been cool to see our personalities mesh. And the things that he is bad at, I'm good at. The things that I'm bad at, he's good at. So it's been really cool to kind of just have that dynamic.
We're on Instagram. It's a Lifestyle UT. We are on. We have a website as well. It's a lifestyleut.com, and new shirts are coming out every month.
I think what really stood out to me about this whole business is that they got to do it together as siblings, you know? So they started, like he said, it started as a joke in high school because his family was featured on a KSL interview, and he always got crap for saying like it's a lifestyle or whatever. And now they have a business, and so I guess what really stood out was just that they get to do it together, and they're both athletes. They're really busy, but this gives them a chance to come together and hang out more. I just think it's a really awesome situation.
I totally agree, just because I'm kind of in the same situation with him, you know, minus the business. Me and my sister, I have a younger sister, her name's Macy. We both played water polo back home, you know, but instead of being so tight together, we're always just bashing at each other, you know. We're always making fun of each other, you know, like, oh, you stink at your sport, you stink at your sport, you get no playing time, blah, 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 blah. And we're always arguing around the house, so honestly, seeing that video right there kind of just like, it made me feel warm inside because I still have a relationship with my sister and stuff. So.
Yeah, it's such a heartwarming experience.
Defensive masterclass at home, as Blazers women's soccer drew a match with the Grand Canyon Antelopes at home, showing off an impressive defensive showcase to split the game 1 apiece. The nail for the Blazers was Ella Carmody, who showed some hustle and heart with a beautiful save running from midfield. Although the Antelopes had 23 shots, the Blazers defense racked up 9 shot blocks. And on the offensive side of the game, Brinley Ryder smashes in a header to score the Blazers' only goal of the match. I spoke with head coach Lexi Brown, Ella Carmody, Brinley Ryder, to get an inside look at how they prepared for their showdown with the Antelopes and how they held an offensive threat to GCU's offensive player, Gianna Gorley, who is top 5 in the country for goals scored.
Here with Coach Lexi after a 1-1 tie here against GCU. Coach Lexi, what did you guys do to prepare for this game and ahead of time?
Yeah, so we knew this was a very good team. Athletic, strong, and attacks really, really well. They have a player who is in the top 5 in the country in goals. And so shutting her down and being strong defensively was really important to us. We knew we didn't want to get into a track meet and let them run in behind us. And we knew we were going to have to block a lot of shots. And that's exactly what we did. Really proud of the way that our defense stepped up today. Both of our center backs and a few of our outside backs had block shots, goal line saves. It was everything you wanted in a defensive performance for our team.
And then on the coaching aspect of it, so I see you on the sideline just absolutely fired up, trying to do your best. You know, you're in your player's face, either congratulating them, trying to coach them up. Is that how you were coached as a child playing the sport? Is that how you get through to your players?
Yeah, I think some coaches did coach me that way. I think I wanted that a little bit more. And so I've found that, especially with this group, they're a group that really feeds off of my energy. And so making sure I'm hyping them up all game and giving them feedback all game long. I think it's what they need and it's what they deserve. They work so incredibly hard, and so I want to make sure that I'm giving them feedback and I'm giving them energy in a lot of ways. And I think I hope it pays off for them.
I'm here with Ella Carmody, who stepped up big time for the Blazers today defensively. Ella, what was the mindset coming into this game defensively?
We know that they're a very attacking team, and they have the leading goal scorer, Gianna, who's amazing. And we knew if we can shut them down, then we have a good chance of this game. And we all came in with the mindset that we're not going to take a loss today. So we all stepped up. Every single person who's on the field did their job defensively and led us to a tie.
And then in the 12th minute, it was just one save of many for you, one shot block of many. What did you just work on drills that entire just weak because you know they were
Yeah.
going to be a highly powered offensive team, and you made some great saves, some great shot blocks to keep you in the game.
Yeah, we had our training this week was a lot of defensive stuff, a lot of clearances, and that's exactly what we did.
Perfect.
We worked on it, and it translated into today's game.
Well, obviously it worked. You held them to 1 goal, and it was an awesome game to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of our strategies for the game is to get N-line and to serve balls back across. I need to do a better job this game of not putting them so much in the air and more keeping it on the ground, but that's something we really have been working on as a team this whole year, and especially this last week. We played 2 teams that don't get scored on very often, and when they do, it comes from getting N-line and slotting balls back across, so that was a huge focus for us.
And then you played 67 minutes out of 90 today. Obviously, you had a big workload for you. Like, how do you fall back on your training in games? Like, what's the mentality with there?
For me, I just play like it's going to be my last game. This is my first season back off of a hip surgery, and I play every single game like it's going to be my last because I never know if it will be. So I think just stepping on and just really digging deep.
The Blazers continue to stay unbeaten in WAC play and look to keep it that way on the road against Stephen F. Austin today at 7 p.m. So, falling back to women's soccer here, it was an absolute barn burner of a game. So, I love the most defensive aspect about the game. Can you tell me more about that, Zoe?
The defensive aspect, yeah. So what they were talking about when they were, I think it was Brindley Ryder, you know, kicking the ball up in the air gives a 50-50 chance of whoever's on the receiving end. You know, usually if your player is receiving the ball, there's someone right there behind. So those it's a 50-50 chance. If the ball goes up in the air and it's there, 50-50 chance that the other team gets the ball. Best case scenario, or I guess worst case scenario for the Trailblazers is the other team comes back and scores. You know, and it was a tie game, so I think that goal of trying to keep the ball on the ground and not in the air is definitely a good goal with going against teams that have a really strong offensive player who's scoring a ton of goals.
And then on the offensive side of the ball, Brindley Ryder scored a crosser with a header. Is that like the most efficient way to score the rock? I mean, Brindley Ryder said it works for their team, but like, is that how it usually works in the game of soccer?
Watching this season, it's been a lot different because I think a lot of their goals are coming from the outside corner, the wing taking it down the corner and then crossing it in. And we saw it with Brindley Ryder. Brindley Ryder had her header, but Lacey Fox not too long ago also had a header in that same situation. I think that's something that they need to capitalize on. That's something that they're really good at. If they keep doing that, they're a powerhouse.
And that's it for this week's edition of Sun News Blazer Beat. Thanks for tuning in.
We will see you here next week, same time, same place. Have a great week, Trailblazers.